I have been your temporary host for this past week. I don't have this up on the tablet yet, so if there is anybody out there, because it's a little lonely here, can you please send me a text saying that you can see and hear me? I would really appreciate it. I know I tend to come very quickly, very early. So I'm going to give it a couple of seconds, see if I can actually pull it up on my tablet. Let's see if it shows us live. Well, not yet. So, Kenny, hello? Am I live? Ooh, it says I am live, I think. I'm watching. Hi, Rosanna. Thank you. Okay. It did come up on the tablet, so I am watching. I know that a lot of it's pretty kind of exciting in DGI Designs right now. If you haven't been there, you need to go. Dorothy Gina Moody from GGC Designs is there. Gina has agreed to do an interview on Heather's Beating Besties on Sunday night. So, and Dorothy and I had both gotten the boxes. We're pretty excited, and she's unboxing it right now. And I think a lot of people are over there watching that. So, that's okay. Not a problem. You can always come back and rewatch this later if you want to, or catch up with us. I didn't want to be late coming home. So, it is what it is. Anyway, welcome to anybody who's here. As I said, my name is Beth Ballou. I have been, thanks, Heather. I have been in for Rosanna Bradford for the past week or so. Most of us are a pretty tight-knit community. We all know what's going on. But for anybody who might come in and is new, Rosanna had a knee replacement last week. Last year, she decided to come. Hi, Brandy. Thank you. She came back a little bit early, so we've been encouraging her to try to take it a little bit easier this time, and heal herself properly, because we need Rosanna. She is one of the staples of our community, one of the most patient and best instructors I've ever seen. And if you haven't watched videos, you need to. She will be back tomorrow. Now, I say that with the caution. I know Rosanna, she tends to do things, but I think that she learned her lesson this time. So when she comes back tomorrow, she may be on for 20 minutes, she may be on for 30 minutes, she may say, hi, I love you, I missed you all, blah, 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 blah. All right? But in the meantime, we're holding down the fort for her. This is Rosanna's business. And we didn't want her to miss a week of views and YouTube because it's her job. And she deserves it. I'm just going to say something. I mean, I've had some technical issues, and most of you have seen that and known that this week. And it hasn't been easy. It's been very stressful. I thought that once you got past the technical issues, it was easy. It's not. You know, I want you to try to go stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself for 2 minutes. You're going to find it very, very tough to do. Our content creators who go on and do this for us, they put a lot of work, a lot of time and effort. They have commitments to be in a certain place at a certain time, either every day or every week on that. Are there exceptions? Are there some times that people may not get it? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just lost track of what I was saying, because Heather says, mention the date. That way people who come across this video in the future, they won't think. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. This is February 24th. of 2026. So yeah, in the future, you will see Rosanna, and trust me, she is a fabulous instructor. I've learned so much from her. And that's why I did this week, because she gives so much to us. I want to give back. Yeah, I mean, it is not, like I said, I started off with the technical thing. I've been in sales all my life. I don't mind talking to people. I love people. I mind talking to them, and this is one of the best communities that I have ever seen. Very supportive. We could all be a little more supportive of one another. We're not in competition with one another. We are out there for all of us to benefit and get better. But doing a YouTube video, like I said, trying to make sure everything's quiet. Now I was trying to think what content would be interesting to somebody. What am I going to do that anybody would possibly want to listen to for an hour when I'm not getting real feedback? Well, these ladies do it all of the time. And it is amazing to me. It is a huge commitment, and they should be rewarded for it. And that could be as simple as going in, watching a video, and giving them a like. Subscribe to the channel. I don't have a channel. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I think in order, if you're on YouTube and you get a certain amount of subscribers and things, that's when they start paying you, because we all know we all get hit with YouTube ads all the time. And that's what they do, is when you're in the middle of watching a video, they're just going to put those ads in there. So the more views they get, the more likes they get, the longer you watch their video. From what I understand, these are all things in which are different ways that monetize. Like I said, no idea how. Hi, Gloria. Um, but it's important. I do think that every once in a while we need to sit back and think about what all they do for us. If there's anybody out there watching has a channel, please put it up. And I could say that with full confidence, because I know Rosanna well enough to know she would be the first one to say, hey, yeah, tell us who you are, what you're doing. We want to hear more about it. Okay, things have been a little bit different this week. I am going to start off with a marketing tip. We've tried to do that. If you want to go back and watch some of the pre-shows. Now, this one I had actually planned on. Hi, Mary. Rosanna's doing great. She will, I said it earlier, she will be back tomorrow. Maybe for a few minutes, maybe whatever, however long. She gets grace from us. So however long she wants to be on, she wants to be on. Hi, Renee. Hi, Tina. Thank you, ladies, for coming. Please go hit like for Rosanna. As I said, this is her channel. This is all trying to benefit her. She has filled in so many times in the past year for anybody and everybody who needs help. And, well, we all know that. I'm saying this for the benefit of somebody who might come in. And if you are somebody new coming into this, or if you're somebody lurking that's never spoken, this is one of the kindest, best communities I've ever met in life. I lurked when I first started watching jewelry making, like, I don't know, 2.5, maybe close to 3 years now ago. I lurked. I didn't want to say anything, but the community drew me in. And when we're not on together, I think there are those of us who miss it. We need that kind. Yes, it's internet, and I'm an older person, so I'm used to having conversations in person with people. But I have learned that over the internet, some of my best friends right now are people in the beading community. They're always there. They're always supportive. People come on and they share their fears, their pains, their sorrows, joys. It doesn't matter what it is that they're sharing. They know that people are listening. Okay, so off that. Sorry I can get off it. It's my last day, and I'm so excited because this is very nerve-wracking for me. But I'm going to miss it too in a little bit of a way. I have enjoyed doing this. I said that if I learned the technical things, I'd kind of like to do a channel where I did some of the things I did. It wouldn't be an everyday thing. It's simply not something that would be, there's not enough content to make it an everyday. But market tip. All right, if you're at a craft fair, and unfortunately Heather doesn't have this video anymore, but if you are at a craft fair and somebody comes up and fall in love with, and let's say they fall in love with that beautiful gemstone necklace. First of all, I'm sure all of you know that if you're doing a craft fair, you need to make sure that you have different levels. That's what draws the eye. Don't have it on the same level. Don't make it too crowded. They say that a good way to do it is do like a U shaped, okay? So if you do a U shaped, but you don't want to be behind the table, you want to be in front of that back table. When you make the U shape, one of your corners, something that you're offering on sale to draw people in, pull them in with that. It gets a little bit more as you go a little bit further back. And then you have your featured jewelry on nice. I mean, you need to do nice. Invest in them. You can buy some very inexpensive ones. If somebody comes up and says, hey, this is gorgeous, and they're looking at a real turquoise necklace, okay? It is beautiful. They look priced, they go, oh, wow, that's a little bit more than I wanted to spend. The best option for you is to say, okay, I understand how you feel. Maybe that isn't the right piece for you, but I have something over here that is very similar to it at a lower price. Let me show you this, and you can decide which of the two would be the best choice for you. First of all, right there, you get from a yes or no, excuse me, to an assumptive either this or that. Pull out something with, I don't know, chrysalis. I want to say halite, but halite blue compared to turquoise, and I get weird in my mind thinking that. But pull out something that's a little bit different price and explain to them the difference. Okay, this is what this is. It's beautiful. It's durable. It will do the job for you. What you originally looked at is this. And let me tell you what the differences are. To do that, you need to know your product. And I am preaching to the choir because I don't. I'm always asking people, what is this stone? What is that stone? I did get this little thing called Crystals and Stone Learning Cards. And I kind of got it because I thought if I'm at a craft show, this was before all the hip things, that, hey, if somebody's looking at something, I can say, oh yeah, that's garnet. If you're someone, and first of all, when people see something in writing, they believe it. 70% of people are visual. So you say, oh yeah, that's a real garnet. Here's what they say about garnet. Tells what the stone is, healing, says it brings love, happiness, devotion, balances sex drives, enhances the survival instinct, promotes action, energy, and self-confidence, helps to overcome self-sabotage, encourages commitment to people and goals. And then it says something about the chakra. It's various. It cleanses, balances, it energizes the chakras, raises the Kundalini energy, transforms crisis into welcoming challenge. You know what? There are people who, you read that to them, they manifest it. I don't know if the stones really do that or not. Never gotten into the crystals that much. But I do believe that when, I can tell you this, I can tell you there's time I put on an outfit or a particular piece of jewelry that I felt like I could rule the world. I know my head higher. I held my straighter. I walked with more confidence. So it's all about how they value it. And how they value it comes to us. We're the makers. But if it's something you're going to sell, you got to figure out what is their motivation. Why are they looking at it? And make sure that you can give them the reasons. And once again, they say, oh, that's really great. I would love to be able to afford that, but I cannot. And you're like, well, once again, I told you this is an excellent alternative. So many people have gotten it. This is something that if our hubby's here, that something helps with our sex life, we all get new jewelry. All right, maybe I should post that on Facebook somewhere. But anyway, and I'm sorry, once again, I get distracted by the chats, I miss them, or I get stuck in them and I lose it. But what I'm saying is when you're selling something, take it from a yes or no and make it an either or. But make it about the person. I mean, when she says, oh, I really like that necklace, but it's a little pricey. What is it that you like about that necklace? I like the color. Then you know to show her a similar piece. I like the layout of the beads. I like the texture of the beads. That helps you. I have been in sales all my life. I have honestly, I think I could say I never sold anything. My goal the entire time has been trying to help people make things. Help people buy things. And if you're helping somebody, then it's going to go the right way. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, first off, I'm going to mention these nails. I'm sure you've all seen how horrible my nails look this week. I have 3 dogs that like to, well, when they eat peanut butter off them, they tear me up. I wanted to have pretty nails for the week. These are the ones for everybody who's been watching Rosanna that she had that looked so beautiful and stuck so long for her. So I went out to Walmart the other day and got some. And after I was telling her about it, and after her surgery, she told me that she showed me her nails. It's exactly the same color. So we're going to match. Later on this week, when I get the companion bundle, we are going to come back and look at the finished multi-strand product. I had said that I wanted to do something with that. I just wanted those connectors. Yes, Heather said people either buy a more expensive option because they think a higher price makes it better, and others will appreciate that you have options at multiple price points. Absolutely true. I'm going to tell you right up front, and I believe this with all my heart, there is never anything overpriced, undervalued. So your job is not to just show it. Your job is to know it and tell them, why is this going to benefit you? Somebody comes in and they're looking and they don't know, well, that's a pretty color you have. Is that your normal color? Is that what you wear more of? What do? Find out things about people. And the reason I'm saying this is not just to maybe sell them something then and there, but to develop a relationship with them. I said a couple of days ago, referrals are your best source of new business. Developing relationships with people is the best way to build referrals. I am going to try to put together something to put on Facebook for Rosanna for all the marketing tips that I did cover this past week. Today, I did want to talk a little bit about multi-strand. Hi, Anita. The multi-strand necklaces, simply because something I used to do, and it's something that seems to intimidate a lot of people. So I'm going to take just a second and switch down to the map. Bear with me for a second. Okay, good. Let's see. All right. You know what? I'm going to move this out of the way for just a second. Now, I had said the other day that when I first started making multi-strand necklaces, I used to be bored. I had gotten the fancy smancy acclaim board, and I do love it because it's wood. But There are others. You can get them anywhere. Amazon. I'm looking for it. I had one. I may have dropped it. But anyway, that's how I started, by laying them out on boards. I just do it by feel and by putting strands together. A lot of times I don't necessarily start out making a multi-strand um, necklace. It just ends up turning out that way. But they say, I did look up an article, and it says what to do if you're a measurer and you're someone who's precise about your things. What you ideally want to do, and it's funny because different things said three different things. You want to put an inch between strands. You want to put an inch and a half between strands. You want to put an inch and a quarter between strands. That is going to depend on the size of your beads. If I'm doing strands with 6mm beads, obviously the diameter of the beads is going to be much smaller than if I'm doing it with these coin beads, okay? These are things that you have to take into consideration, which is I would use the bead board to start with a design, put my spacers and things in, but then it just got easier for me to do it on the mat. I wanted to show you a couple of my multi-strand necklaces, different ways to do some things. This one is from last year. It is a 2-strand necklace, and it's short. Unfortunately, I'm not a measurer, okay? I tend to, when I'm doing strands, I tend to take it, put it around my neck. I'll attach like a jump ring in, put it around my neck, figure out where I like it, hold it there, take it down, cut the chain, and then, cut that off, and that's where I put my clasp. Hi, Georgina. I said, hi, Mary. I think I said hi to you, too. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Please, please, please hit like for Rosanna. This is her or my last day doing this for her. So anyway, this is simply a 2-strand one. It's a little bit shorter. And while there is a focal, it's not a huge in-your-face focal. If you're doing multi-strand necklaces, they say that, if you're like doing a 3-strand, you want to put your focal needs to be one of two places. You are either trying to draw attention to the face or down to the necklace. If your focal goes up here on your top strand, that's going to pull the look up more. If it goes down here, it's going to pull it down more. Now, this is a little bit of a nugget, but it's not really a focal. But if you look, I have. And I do like things in 3s a lot of times. You'll see I'm very symmetrical in some ways. But when it comes to things that I am trying to point out, I do like 3s in a lot of ways. So what I did with this, because there's no huge main focal, is use coin bead, and then I came back and did it on either side, okay? Now, this particular one, I just beat all the way up. So there wasn't really a place that it connected into a chain. Okay? Another type of one that you can do, and this is very simple. I actually did it with chandelier earring holders. Lightweight stones, not very heavy. I did up at the top, I did wrap loops. So I used this because you have the 3 strands that goes into the one, all right? This particular one, twisted. You don't have to make a multi-strand where it's 3 different strands. These come together. They are twisted. It was done purposely because it gives the necklace a really cool look because it's so light and airy, the 3 together, and because there are no real big stones on there. It makes a really pretty picture. Anita, what time is it there? Yes, Anita, I love the wooden boards, I have to tell you. Okay, here is one where I did use chandelier, or this was actually a connector or chandelier from Bargain Bead Box. What I did was this is a multi-strand, a 3-strand. I did 2 strands of wrap loops. There we go. 2 strands of wrap loops. Sorry, I had that laying wrong. 2 strands of wrap loops, and my upper strand is strung. Now here is where my main focal is. Once again, this is on the upper strand. So it's going to draw it up there. So then I have the sunstone on either side. I put some sunstone here. I put some spiny coral and turquoise in here. This is a mix of a bunch of different colors. But if you look, and this is what my best advice to you when you're doing things like this is just take it, lay it out, play with it. Like I said, I used the bead board at first a lot to help design. Now I kind of play with it a lot of times. If I see components I like, I will start out by making components or stringing something, and a lot of times I'll just put it on the wire and just play with it from either side till I get it right. Not a good measurer, they're probably not, and I have to sometimes hold them up. I think the standards for an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half is probably a great thing to do, and I am not ways outside of the rules normally. I am just, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So measuring has never worked for me. My earrings, they work out fine, but I just hold them next to one another. And I try to be very, very consistent in my loops. That's why I use the, when I'm making loops, that's why I use the one-step looper, because it does keep it consistent for you. Oh, thank you, Anita. I appreciate that. You know what it is? It's the color. These colors tend to, when you show things in these colors, people tend to love it. This particular one happens to be in gold. Also looks great in copper, and I also love turquoise and orange and red. Turquoise and red's one of my favorite. I love those in silver too. So, your value bundle came, Rosanna? Yay! Well, you know what? Why don't you maybe start tomorrow just by showing that, and then when you're done unboxing it, if you feel like going, you can go. If you don't, you can stay. We won't kick you off. We will get mad at you if you overdo it. Okay. What is it? Right. This one, I don't think I showed this one. This one is just another 2-strand necklace. But I did that because it is so deep in color and saturated. I thought if I did more, it would take away from it. What I did do at the top was make sure, because once again, I did a wire wrap section up top. This is Apatite. This is Pacific Blue Ocean Larimer Apatite, and I believe I got it from either Teja or Lima Beads, but they are absolutely stunning. I've bought them a couple of times. Again, I don't have a good camera. I'm not the technical thing on this, but these colors, if you saw them in person, are absolutely amazing. Then I used it up here. You see just some little connectors or spacers that were in there. On this particular one, to connect it, what I did was, and I used small rings that I believe came from Bargain Bead Box. This has the connector here. I put them on an oval jump ring You want to use oval jump rings because then your opening is going to be on the side so that your strand is not sitting on it, putting weight on it. So that's all I did to connect it. Now, when you are looking to do these, I don't want you to go in there and design it on the bead board and say, this is perfect, blah, blah, I'm going to do this. Once you get them together, you need to play with where your strands are. I know some people directly crimp to whatever their connector is. I like putting them on rings because I'm new. Sometimes I make mistakes. I might need to correct it. Or sometimes I get done and say, I just don't, I want to redo it. I don't want to have to restring things if that happens. But I do like, as I said, this is a small connector, so it's nothing major there. So I'm able to bead up around the back, and then I just used a toggle connector here. Heather says, another good quick tip for craft fairs, always have a good tools and chain extension, all of the offered metals. Absolutely. That way, if someone wants a necklace bracelet to be longer, yeah, you say, hey, give me 5 minutes, I can do that for you. Rosanna, that sounds great. We're anxious to see you do that. Okay, so that's this one, like a very small ring. A couple more, I'm probably boring y'all to death. This one, once again, I used something small here. I used a jump ring for it, but in measuring my strands, if you look, I wanted to put my big focal on the top strand. If you're going to do that, you have to allow for the length that this will take up. This is one of the top drilled amazonites that we got in one of the bead boxes last year. But again, my main focal is really here, but I have a beautiful coin amazonite underneath it. This section, I just did a little component. This is Shatakatite, I think it's called. Another one of my favorite things. Gorgeous, gorgeous stone. I put them on small things here, connected that to my wire wrap components here, and then once again, I just did a strung component here. These, I love these spacers. I got these, Heather, she said, got these from Bernie's Bead Box. I just told her I need more of them. They are the best shimmer faceted without being overpowering. They don't overwhelm the piece. I love it. And then I just have some disc in here. I thought I had do not disturb on. Okay. So again, I look at the size of the strand when I'm doing it. That to me is the main thing. I look at where do I want to start. I normally start with color. All right. I will probably make my upper strand first just to get a feel for it. This particular one, these aren't heavy. There's not a lot of beads. But I want to give it a little extra something at the top. I tend to bead a lot all up. So I did do it on double chain. So, there's another one. This one is what I call the ugly. You know, the good, bad, the ugly. This I have to totally redo. I did it a while ago. It came from the last year's bargain bead box. I just love the little charms and things. I just totally overwhelmed this piece. If you'll see, I have way too many charms up here on the paper clip chain. And then my lower, I'm okay with this strand. I'm probably okay with this strand. I need to go back, take this off, and start over because it just does not work. And what I did on this one, but I did want to show it to you for A, to show you something that's a mistake, and B, to show you that sometimes you can connect your strands by the chain too. Just put a jump ring on it. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of connectors. there anything else I wanted to show? Did I show you this one? I wanted to show you this one because I used a little bit something different on here. Okay. This again came from mainly Bargain Bead Box. And there is something wrong here that I need to go correct. But this one, if you want to call it a focal, has a pull down here. Look at me making a mess of this thing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, one of my things is twisted wrong. Okay, so this would be, quote, quote, the focal. These are all very small beads. It comes across delicate, not overwhelming. And I just wanted to show that you could use a connector like this. And if your strands, if one's too long or too short, you could do things to adjust that by where you put it in the available spaces on your connector. Okay? All right. Now, I wanted to show y'all some different things that you could use for connectors. If you're going to bead, let's say you're going to bead onto something like this. Just a large, and I get these from, well, this is just a solid ring connector, and you're going to put a jump ring on it. If you've got 1, 2, 3 strands, okay, and you're going to put your jump rings directly on here, what you need to make sure that you do is that your jump rings aren't going to be able to cross over into the next strand, okay? I do like connectors and things because it gives you a little bit more space in between them. You can use something like this, and I have. You've got in this piece of filigree, let's see, do we have a... See how many different holes you have in there? I could totally see doing your middle strand here, connecting your inner strand here, your outer strand here, and then you come up top, and that's where you connect either your chain or however else you're going to finish the necklace off. If you're being price conscious, probably chain is the better bet. But you can also, if you wire wrap things, you can put a few beads on there for a really big impact, not a whole lot of money. Okay? Another thing you can do, and Rosanna is great at this, is cones. Actually, you know what? I'm going to lay them here. These cones are things that what you could do, and Rosanna, I want you to jump in here any second, is you can bring your strands together, crimp them, double crimp them, then you can put them on an eye pin, put it up into your cone, then you're going to connect your cone to, once again, either your chain or the beads that you're going to take the rest of the way up. I'm going to take a second and look. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I said I was born young. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Gracia. Oh, hi, Leanna. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for being here. So, another thing that you can do, toggles. A lot of people don't, like Rosanna's not real fond of toggles. I think Randy's not necessarily fond of toggles all the time as toggles. But a toggle is a great way to do a connection for a multi-strand necklace or bracelet, okay? So once again, the only thing you have to make sure of is make sure that you are doing your strands so that you get them correctly, okay? And that they can't jump over one another. Another big caution for you is the size and diameter of your beads. And I don't think I brought one. Bear with me for just a second. I want to grab one thing. I apologize. I want to grab this only because this is another example of a way that you can use connector. Now, this is very, very, I guess you would call boho-ish. Joey, 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 the lady is watching. I'm sorry, my husband's supposed to be on dog life. Joey, do you want the water bottle? Do you want the water bottle? Go. 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 No barks. Well, of course, today that's going to happen. It didn't happen all week long. All right. But if you notice here, this ring that I use here, this chandelier ring, I mean, it fit in with the tone of the beads. And these are all very light. I did them all on a separate chandelier here. You got a lot of Picasso beads, a lot of different colors. There is no real quote, quote, focal here. This is just a beautiful example of beads put together. Joey? I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Joey, that's it. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can't be working like that. I'm light. I locked him in the Easy Breeze. That'll fix it. But anyway, what I was saying is you don't necessarily have to have a focal. I had mentioned earlier that they said, you know, you might want to make your strands an inch and a quarter, 2 inches apart. I agree with that depending on the size of the beads. This strand is not that far apart. They're closer than that. But it's because of the type of beads and the way that I put them together. There is no need for them to be far apart. Then up here, I put some wooden beads, which I thought gave it a nice, different look. And once again, ladies, I'm no expert. I like color. Yeah, he definitely went to doggy jail. He and his partner are now, they're not locked in the Easy Breeze. He's not going to like that. Oh, good. Well, I have a sign on my front door that says, welcome to my home, doggy barks expected, or something like that. It's really cute. But they have a routine. We all do dogs. They like to, I have on my front door, there's glass on either side. They love to sit there and watch. They know when the male person's going to come. They know when the other dogs in the neighborhood are going to walk by. And they think it's their duty to greet every dog in the neighborhood. So yeah, they make me nuts. Anyway, back to this. So once again, a different type of multi-strand necklace. Now, as I said, I know a lot of people like stacking, and stacking is great. It's always been a problem for me because I tend to end up getting where they cross and mess up. Now, I had thought if that's the issue, and you can do necklaces so that they just stack like that, and you could put each of them on a lobster clasp, something simple, something small. And then if you did want to wear them together, you could always take something like this. This is a closure, a magnet. Okay. And you could attach your lobster clasp to that and take either a 2-strand necklace or a 3-strand necklace and make it something so that it's very simple for you to put on as well. So that gives you another option to do. Now, next, here's another perfect shin. This is perfect for doing a multi-strand on. I like it because your inner strand is going to be shorter. Your middle strand right here, your outer strand is going to be lower. I like your middle strand drops down a little bit because I think it allows you a little bit more flexibility in what you're doing. And then your outer strand here. So you can attach them in. Once again, once I had my strands done, and I will print my strands before I do anything with connecting them, once I kind of like eye them and make sure. But you get something like that. You may have to play with your jump rings just a little bit if, once again, because of the size and the diameter of the beads, it may look a little bit different when you go to put it all together. If that is the case, and you print so that you can put on jump rings or something, you could easily adjust that. You could, even if you had to, say you grossly miscalculated. I thought I had a very small, delicate one. I have a very small, delicate ring that maybe if you needed to hang something from here, you needed to change the size of the jump rings. It's an easy fix because you need to get it visually correct when you put it on your bust, okay? Here's another one you could use. Something like this. It's simply a connector. Oh, thank God I put him out back. The pool guy came across the street too. Same thing here. You could connect from here. If they're small beads, you might want to do 3 jump rings from here. I would probably tend to, and here's the thing you have to think about, because this is a little bit curved, it's gonna swing your bead out a little bit. If, however, you have large beads, that's not a bad thing. That might be something you want to think about, okay? Here's another type of connector that you can use. Oh, thank you, Leanna. Right here, you can put your 3 strands here, your 2 strands here. I'm trying to decide if I'm brave enough to try a 4-strand when I do get the companion bundles. We'll see, okay? So another option. You don't have to go out and buy fancy things. Here's another option. Once again, and this is really pretty. You have it on the right necklace with white beads. I can see this with pearls. I can see it with pinks. This would be absolutely stunning as a way to connect your top and bottom together as well. As far as multi-strand bracelets go, this is, you could just connect straight onto these. Do your 3 strands. You've got to remember what we're talking about the size of the beads. When I do multi-strand bracelets, I tend to a lot of times put bigger strands or bigger beads in the middle. And you can't necessarily do that. Okay, like this is one I did. But on this one, I took it and I just jump ringed it on either end. But to tell you the truth, it probably would be, I may go back and look. I may even take this. A little bit dark. But it would probably actually look better if I did it on something like this, because this would lay just a little bit better. You know what I mean? It would, to me, it would give you a better look there. Okay? Here's another chandelier that you could use. And if you wanted to do something like 3 strands, just go in and cut these off and file them down. I would have never thought of that before I saw it on Heather and Rosanna and Randy. There's just so many things you can do to make multi-strand necklace. Rosanna gave me permission once I get the companion bundle, because I am dying to do a multi-strand for our Storytime Fairy Tale entry. That she'll let me come back on it and show it. I just want to, it's almost 1 o'clock, and I just want to come back and thank you, ladies. And you know what, I'm going to turn up. I want to thank you, ladies, for this week, or the past 7 days, whatever it's been. You've been amazing. I've had some huge technical issues, but we're all here for Rosanna. This week has shown me how much we all mean to each other. We're keeping our views up. I told you at the beginning of the week, or last week, I wasn't above bribery. There is going to be if Rosanna, and we're not going to even ask her about it until like maybe next Monday. She's coming back tomorrow, and let her do her unboxing and then go rest, because otherwise I'll have to kill her. But I had said if she comes back and tells us that we've kept our numbers up, viewers who came on this week, all you're going to have to do is when she tells us that, is in the comments type in IRG in Rose's Garden, and we'll have a random drawer, and the winner's going to get their choice of either the 2.25 looper or this one. If you want to see it, I demonstrated on Monday. I think if you go to, there's like 4 or 5 videos because I kept screwing up. But if you go to the last one, I think it's on there. This makes perfectly sized loops. So I want you to do that. I enjoyed this week. I enjoyed giving tips and different types of things. Like I say, I don't mind sharing design. I don't mind beading, but y'all get a lot of that. I like giving different aspects and different things. I am thinking about maybe doing a once a month, once every 2 weeks. The content that I'm offering, I don't think is enough to make it an everyday thing. And honestly, not sure I could even commit to that. But if it's something you might want to see every couple of weeks or once a month, tomorrow on Rosanna's show, comment or go to her Facebook and comment. Let us know. Please make sure that you like today. You're liking for Rosanna. We need to keep her views and likes up. As I said, Rosanna is one of the most generous, caring people I know. Forget about the beading aspect of it. She's an amazing instructor, so patient, so tolerant. She does have membership. I am her very first member. If you become a member, all the people who have little roses by their name, they're all of it. We meet once a week on Thursday afternoons. It is only $4.99 a month, and it is worth it. We get videos early. My favorite is the interaction on our members' videos, because it is a little bit less people, so we're able to get in and share our ideas and collaborate, and it has taught me so much, and I love the joy of being with you, ladies. Thank you so much for everything this week. Let's get ready to welcome Rosanna back tomorrow. Yes, please hit like, and please ask somebody to watch these for Rosanna. As I said about her. Bye.